all over with me in my suitcase.
And you don't have it wired to wear around your neck.
Yeah.
This is cool.
This is African.
Wow.
It's a mask from Benin. I have it in gold too.
Wow. That's
Right
really
on.
cool.
It's female mask.
It's very intricate. It's really cool.
It's a female who make it at the beginning, before the men start to do it now. The female didn't make it no more because the work is getting too tough for them. But the men do it, but basically it's the work of the women who start that before.
Rings nest.
Rings, this is California. San Francisco. I'm an international woman.
I know you are.
California.
You're the queen of the international women.
I also always make sure I have something from my country somewhere, even if I don't wear it.
Cool.
Cool. All right. Well, we're in business.
You ready?
We're ready when you are.
Okay.
We are. What do you think we were doing since we sit down here?
So let me tell you, before we start the show, let me tell you a little bit about it. It's 5 days a week, 2 to 5, Monday through Friday, in the afternoon. It's a lot of people. We try to hit young people, and it's aimed at young people in a big way.
We need it.
Okay? And the tune we're playing a lot right now is Humbati.
Oh, the workless and the homeless people's song.
Yeah. And it's getting a lot of response. It's been on 2 weeks, and it's gonna be staying until you come in the summer. So we're gonna do that, Aduma, and I have a whole list of things that we're gonna take care of with the album.
Just take care of yourself.
Yeah.
Take care of my music. It's cool for me.
It's very popular on the show. There's another one we're playing now that you should know. The one on Reggae on the River.
Chichi.
Yes, we're playing that. And
I don't know why, but this song have his own life. Since this album is done, there are people who like these songs more than anything, and I can't explain that.
I don't know either. I know there's something magical about your stuff, though, that gets people into it. It's very popular on the show now.
Magical, I won't say. Magical, no.
What's the performance? People can't stop moving when you start playing. That's like...
Because I'm there to have fun, and I like it. People feel I like it. There's no lie about it. So, other thing is that I care. I care so much that there's no lie in it. So when you are a musician, you have to be sure that what you do it according to your sound
in your heart
and according to your heart. So if you don't know that, if you don't do it like that, it doesn't have any sense to do it.
Right on. Well, it's catching. So I wanted to just tell you that before we start, so you know, like, the kind of people who will be listening when I play it. And yeah, and we're gonna try to, like, and they don't know much about you, but they like the music. And you've only been here twice, right?
Yeah.
And I've seen both of them. And we had you on in '92, fall of '92 when you came.
Yeah.
And you did an interview. It was a long time ago. They were rushing you through. It was like you were busy and you were tired.
I was busy.
You remember though? They were like, it was like show after show after show, radio station, TV.
I know. But I was so tired.
But now it's like cool. It's like more relaxed.
Not really.
I know. You was DC last night, Kilimanjaro. I heard about it. We talked.
Not really.
Well,
but I like to be busy. That's why I'm doing this job. If I want to sit down in office, I have the choice. I won't do. I tried once, and I can tell you I was so unhappy.
All right, well, we'll talk. We'll get it going now. You ready?
Yeah.
Here you go. All right, Dave here, 88.9 FM, WERS, and I have Angelique Kidjo as my guest, and I'm very honored to have you here. Thank you.
It's my pleasure to see you again, because a long time ago we have been speaking together. You were one of the first journalists that I spoke to in Boston.
Yeah, well, it was a pleasure to have you then, and it's really cool that you're back. You have a new album, and the album is Ahe.
Yeah, which means life.
Which means life. The album is it's not any kind of traditional African album. The album is a fusion of a lot of different things.
Exactly.
There's a lot of funk, there's a lot of soul, there's a lot of energy, and a lot of expression. And I think that a lot of the listeners would love to know, like, what are the things you were listening to that have like helped you to form the way you now play your music.
I listened to so many different music from when I was 6 years old, starting discovering traditional music from Benin and from the other part of West Africa, because my mother brought out the first theater group of Benin, and she showed me a different type of dances and singing. And at the same time, my father was showing me how to dance valse, tango, paso doble, marumbas, and rock, twist. And with my brothers, when I was 10 years old, they start to bring home people like the Beatles, and I start to discover songs like Michel, ma belle, sont des mots qui vont très bien ensemble, with the Rolling Stone, I Can't Get No, with Stevie Wonder, Superstition, with James Brown, Papa's Got a Brand New Bag, with Jimi Hendrix, with Hey Joe, and with Santana, with Samba Party, with Aretha Franklin, with Respect, with all those different type of music I was listening to. With on top of it, you have all the black African musicians, and then in the middle of those music I was listening to girls who come from other countries. I did not speak English. I was a little girl. I was like a sponge, I used to say, and I just take them and I sing them as I wanted to. Then in the middle of that, rush in a woman from South Africa called Miriam Makeba, who was for me one of my biggest decision of being, perhaps without knowing consciously, that I took the decision to be a singer by listening to her. Because in my head of a little girl, I was just thinking about the fact that only black American people can do it and only white people can do it, female, I mean. So when this woman come up with the song she used to sing, with those type of song on the 60s, beginning of 70s, talking about apartheid, fighting, and saying things that no woman can say at that time in Africa.
Sure.
I said, this is it. This is the point. I have to go. I have to do it. So I start singing William Makeba's song, and the first song I write by myself was, I was 15 years old. It's the third song of my album today, which is called Azanakwe, which means the day will come, because it was a shock for me seeing Winnie Mandela at the TV show telling us why her husband was put in jail because he was fighting against the white power. So this song is still a kind of anger for me. And I asked my father, I just turned to him, telling him, why so? Why we black have to suffer so much? We have colonization without asking for it. We have slavery without asking for it. And now we have apartheid. What is this? When are we going to be free? When the rest of the world going to see us like human beings only without being a color before? So this question is still in my mind because the situation is still the same. So that's how I grown up.
And it's like a synthesis of all of these ideas is what your music is now.
Exactly.
Because your music is one of the most cosmopolitan on our show. It's a globe transcender. It's the kind of music that touches on so many different styles, and so we get these calls when people are so unfamiliar and they can't quite put their finger on it because there's nothing like it that's come before. And I'm curious, in the rest of the world, what's the response like in Europe when you're playing there?
Oh, I'm nearly having gold album in Denmark, and the Scandinavia country goes right atop. And in France it's starting, and in Australia too is going well. The thing is that I used to say that I just transposed the meaning of the traditional singing in the context of a modern singing, because in my society the traditional singer make the education of the whole population. They are the link between the older generation, the younger generation, and the link between the society
and the
government and the education. So every song, my education is based on tales and songs. Every time I face a situation which is a shock for me or which is very painful for me, a flash that comes is a song.
And that's the inspiration for the songs.
That's always the inspiration of the song. That's why I say I can't be a violent person physically, because for it's so much love in the fact that my ancestors learned how to psychoanalyze themselves by using songs and forgiving people.
And you use your songs as a real socially conscious vehicle.
Exactly.
For instance, the song that is really huge on the air right now on WERS on Gyroscope is Humbati. And where does that come from? I know that that's about homelessness.
That song come from seeing people on the street laying down like dogs while people take their money, their car, park in a supermarket, buying dogs food, buying cats food, doesn't even look at the people on the street. And those whole situation of when you start to be workless people, you end up on the street because you can't pay your rent no more. We are living in a kind of society where everybody's living for his own life. There is nothing in our society today for you when you quit a job or when you are fired because of economical situation. There is no place for you to stay, to stand by, to have another job and to look forward to keeping up. And it's something that I can't understand. How we can be so mean.
How we can overlook the human beings.
How can we it's very something absolutely sick about the situation where we live in now exactly.
And it's a global problem.
It's a global problem because we are still far away from that point in Africa. But if we are not careful, we might have that because people will go more looking more outside to get more, and then perhaps we bring that for us. And what I would like to share as philosophy with people of those society, of those developed and civilized countries that said, is solidarity. We don't have solidarity. Because solidarity means time, love.
And group compassion.
And those two things, no one wanna give it. When it comes to love, when it comes to go for a relationship close, everybody's scared. Because when you give time, when you open your heart to love, you are vulnerable. I know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I don't stop having shocks. The person I am today, I still believe in love. It doesn't matter how hard it is for me. Because I get hurt every day, every second, every minute that people can cheat me, they cheat me. Sometimes I say I'm sick of it, of being so nice and getting people on top of my head. But I know deeply in myself that I can't change myself.
And you can't give it up.
I can't give it up. So I used to say, if you cheat me, you take the money. You're never gonna take your soul with me, out of me. So I would like people to think a little bit like that, not to think about the pain and what they're losing. Because we belong to each other. We're nothing without each other. So I just care. I care a lot because I don't want the future generation coming to live in the mess where we are living.
Yeah, and we are somehow creating a mess here.
Exactly. We are too greedy.
Yeah.
Human being is so greedy sometimes. Sometimes I face a situation, I heard some people talking, I go shocked. I say, how can you even a second think like that? It's something I just can't get.
Benin, place that I don't think I would doubt hardly any of the people listening to this have been to. What was it like for you growing up? What was the area you lived in like?
I used to say I will wish for a lot of person to have the childhood I have. Because the adult I am today comes from that childhood.
Was it rich with the family?
Yeah. My parents were not a rich family.
But emotionally rich and passing on good things.
But the education they gave me, the time and the love they gave me, what they give away for 9 kids, sending them all to school.
You had 9 of you?
We were 6 brothers and 3 sisters. It's a lot. It's really a lot because education is expensive.
And important.
My father believed in education. He used to tell me, I come to a point that when I tell my father I want to stop my study, I want to sing. My father tell me there's no way for me having an artist in my house without
an education. Right.
Because people respect you more when you are able to talk about what you're doing.
Articulately.
To tell them about where you come from and who you are. So or you do both or nothing. So when I come to discussion with my parents, when I have that type of ultimate in front of me, I know there's no discussion possible. They are open to discussion, but there are things they never pass by. So as I continue my studies, and they gave me very early the sense of responsibility. Telling me, anything you do, you're responsible of it. If it's good, it's your responsibility. If it's bad, it's your responsibility.
And a sense of responsibility for others and just as...
For others, for nature, because all is one for them. If you respect the nature where you live, automatically you respect the human being. Because both are one.
Do you find there's that a common thread in the messages that you've wanted to put out into your music?
Yes, definitely. All that is the same. That's why I call this album Life. Because I wanted people to know what life means for me, from my education, from my experience. It comes from pollution, no respect of the Mother Earth, which is the first song, where there is no respect and love for this earth. Everybody live very selfish. We polluted by the garbage we put outside because we consume. We don't even need to consume that much. We just put the garbage. When it comes to recycling, we say, oh, this is the business of the government. Doesn't matter. We are responsible of that. And life means racism too. Life means ignorance. When you're ignorant about your neighbor or about a foreigner, you are racist. Because if you don't know somebody, you are afraid. If you are afraid, you are racist. You exclude him.
You have such a universal message.
Yeah, because there's no way for me to live without the universe. I don't believe being happy alone. It's a kind of it is utopic. By thinking once that you can be rich and happy yourself alone, it's not possible. It's not possible. The people who think like that, they are the loneliest people in the whole world. Because
So
you can have
true.
a bunch of million in your account, and when you fall on the street, a person you don't know gonna call emergency and take you to the hospital. It's not your money gonna go walk from the bank and come and take
No,
you.
it's a human bond,
Exactly.
which is so much more valuable and so much more important. Yeah, there's a real difference, and I think that your approach that makes it so that it's so much more popular with people who like otherwise have never heard this. And in the United States, we have a real problem with anything that's not in English making it into the mainstream media. So you find that they just group it into these little side categories, you know. And the thing that I think is different about Angelique Kidjo and especially about Aye is that this is music that a lot of people seem to be able to identify with, and that it's much more. Musically, it's a diverse soundscape. Do you live? What do you try to do live with what you've done with the album? When you take it out?
Live is much more communication between the public and I. Is the thing I don't get in studio. That's why I really like these small studios, but I need studio to get to the public. When I'm on stage, I'm alive. I'm living. Because stage is my first life. It's the thing I like more than anything. I can be tired to death when I come to the stage, finish. Because the public in front of you is giving you so much energy. They are sending you so much love, even if they don't want it to. Even if a single person who decided to come to the show and look, come step by step to enter my world and give me love, give me time, give me dance, give me energy, and you hit the bottom.
Very interactive.
During 1 hour and a half, you get people naked out of all the things they put in their face when they walk on the street. And even if they don't know, when they go back home, they have something in their mind still. They even do things they won't never do to change something a little bit in their life. That's what I want. I'm not on stage only for performance. I want to talk to people. It doesn't matter if I don't speak the language. The thing is, the emotion is universal. It doesn't have color, it doesn't have a language, and it doesn't have a smell. It's about soul. Who knows the color of the soul? Who knows the color of the spirit? Nobody knows it. So music have to deal with that. That's why, but it can't never be racism in music, because when you come to music, it doesn't matter who's playing behind.
Yeah.
It's what your soul is talking about.
Yeah.
So being in stage for me is just like being where I belong to. That's the most important thing for me. And I know people get the message. Doesn't matter to give the explanation. But there is one thing I want to say is that because I'm somebody who's starved of communication, I'm gonna come step by step and sing in English, in French, in Spanish, in Portuguese,
In all kinds
in
of
any kind of
languages.
language. Because I want people to get the fact that it's not only the language who means something. I'm able to sing in any kind of language. The thing is that people have to go out of their mind, not thinking always about what does that mean, to let the body first move, let the sound move, and read the booklet,
Absolutely.
and make up their mind and make up their own life on every song. Because this life is too easy. Everything is about advertisement. How you go buy your soap. You have been told how to buy it. We all go and consume like death, like robots.
Yeah, we're programmed.
We are programmed. So I would like music to be something not programmed. Where we go, at least, and let something comes out of us which is really deeply human.
Do you find, where do you get the best response? Where do you find the audience is
The
most
response
interactive?
are different all over the world.
All over, everywhere.
And they are great. Anytime.
And how about, what do you listen to? Like, you're on the road, it's at night. Do you listen to stuff? Are you listening to new music? Anything? Do you bring music on the road with you?
I bring music on the road with me, a lot of music, but the thing, I don't have time yet to listen. I buy a bunch of albums, CDs, Alifa Touré with Raikude. I buy Michel Ndenge Cello. I don't have time to listen. I buy the last single of Prince. No time to listen because I'm so tired. I have my rights because listening to music is a pleasure. If I have to listen to music like that by thinking about something that doesn't have any sense for me.
Now, the new album was recorded 2 different places.
Yeah.
Paisley Park and then in London, correct?
And in Paris too.
And in Paris too. Okay, 3 places. And so, how did you divide it up? Was it certain songs for certain sessions with people, or?
You know, when you start to create songs, it comes to a point where songs take their own life, and the evidence come to you. I used to say my songs are like children. They're grown up in a different way. So when I finished all my demo, listening to all in global, I said, this is too tough for one person to handle. I need 2 persons with 2 backgrounds different, with 2 different worlds and 2 different emotions. So I start to listen to a lot of production. And I end up with Will Mowat of Soul to Soul because I wanted that type of groove that you have in Ngbati, which is the groove of Afrobeat from Fela.
Right.
And that type of groove, you don't have it in Paisley Park.
Right. It has a meters-ish feel, that same song.
Exactly.
Has the drums. It has a real meter.
It's Afrobeat.
Right.
And I wanted the rock and the very tight part of the snare and the kick, which is Paisley Park.
Right.
So when I send my demo to those both producers, they like it. So I let them listen, and I don't know how we all end up exactly with the songs they wanted to produce, but the choice belonged to me. I decided who's gonna produce this and that. So we end up doing 11 songs, and we put 10 on the songs on the album because the one song I was supposed to do a duet with James Brown, but it was not possible. And
James Brown.
because the song I wrote, the beat was completely James Brown, and it was not sensible, and it was not useful to do it without James Brown because his voice on top of the song with mine means something at that time. So perhaps one day we're gonna do it, and then we start to work like that. The thing is that when I start to work, why did I choose producers? To let them give me something, to let them come to my world, and let them listen, and step by step they discover something new.
How about live? How do you lay it out live? How do you decide what you want to play? You have 2.
After the album is done, I start to rehearse and I decide what I put on stage, what I put longer, what I cut, and I say, we do it like that. We see how the public respond. If the public respond, we do it more.
It kind of it floats like that.
Yeah, the thing is that you can prepare a show like this. I'm not the type of person preparing things like this. Even the dancing is not. It's not all in my mind. There are things that.
It's live. It varies every night.
So when the public decide to keep you long, you go long. What can you do? You can help it. They are there to have party. If they're not, for me, going to a show and being away of the show is a waste of time for me.
Right.
If I can't enter the world of a musician, groove and sing with him and dance with him, I don't pay and go. I go for a movie. Sit down and watch the movie, then it's better for me. Live means something for me, really.
And you've played some really great American festivals too.
Yeah.
Like the one on the Eel River, the Reggae on the River.
I love it. I love the atmosphere of Reggae on the River. It's one of the best places I have ever been. The people are so nice. The public is so real.
Yeah, and there's a lot of them. It's
A lot of them.
Big festival. You play
And-
during the day or night?
In the day, and I receive so much response of love, so many addresses, so many gifts from people who doesn't know me, who just wanted to please me. What do you want me to do? I just go back. Easy.
Wow. That was your first time there?
Yeah, and I love it. It was hot exactly as I like it.
There's a lot of bands too.
Yeah, and after that I have been visiting the Sequoia.
Wow.
And it was an experience for me.
And now you're doing how many? You're doing a lot of shows this tour here?
We started tour in February. No, in Europe. We started tour the 17th of February in Scandinavia. We ended in Europe in the 13th of March. And now we are doing United States, and then we go back to do France. And perhaps we come back this summer again to United States. And then from here we go to Canada, Japan, Asia, Australia.
Wow. Maybe Africa Fest this summer?
Yeah.
That'd be cool. Or possibly Manu Dibango, I heard, maybe another one.
Who knows? Why not?
A lot of possibilities.
There are so many things going on. We are very far from summer. A lot of things can happen.
Yeah, that's true. Well, you're here now, though. You're in town. Last summer, Africa...
And it's raining.
Yeah, it is a little bit of a gray day, but hopefully you'll be perking things up at the Middle East. Last summer, Africa Fest, a good experience.
Yeah. You were there?
Yo, yeah, at the Roxy.
Oh, come on. I have my baby behind the stage.
Really?
I was singing and looking at my baby.
Was it a fun tour?
Yeah, it was funny. It was really funny. But the thing is that Africa Fest were too short for me. I would like it more longer because it was the first time for us African musicians to be so close on tour, being able to sit down to talk, musician with musician, artist with artist, because we are busy. I'm here, and I think Ismailo is in Paris starting his tour, is Baba Mal too, and by the time I go back to Paris, they all go back to Senegal. So you never have time to sit down, talk with them, have a lunch. I wanted to invite them home. I'm too busy, I can't do it.
But the tour
So
was a
it
good
was the opportunity to sit down, and we have been to Berkeley School here,
Right.
where they asked for us to come and talk about how we feel and we live our music in Africa. And it was a great experience for me because at the first time, the people who need to know exactly the type of music we are making and being able to carry it for the future generation are those students of Berkeley. And it was good for them to go to the source of the information, because normally they could say we know everything about it. We don't want to know. We don't want to ask questions, but they do ask questions. We spent 1 hour with them. It was so short. We could have loved all of us to spend more than 1 hour with them, talking to them and telling them, just go, just take your bag and go there. For every musician, it's a great experience of being where the drums hits, and then you see the difference.
Wow. And young people around the world, when you look out in the audience, you see more young faces?
I see everything.
Everything.
Young,
Big mix.
small, kids, adults. I talk to anybody. There are people of 50, 60 years old, very, very older than me, who comes to me and telling me I'd start to discover my life after listening to you, or you bring me things I have never known. Somebody who's 60. You say, oh my gosh, I'm so little, I'm so young compared to that person. But the humility of those people recognizing even if you are 60 or 70, you can still learn. It's just marvelous.
No, it's a very universal appeal. It's a unique thing. You've got a very special thing going, because it's the kind of rapport I was saying. You know, a lot of people refer to it like when they see you live, it's like impossible to stop moving, and that's a unique thing. That's not a comment I've heard expressed about a lot of other people.
Because I express my music even with my body. I don't think that singing without using the body is useful. That's not what my mother told me. She told me both have to go together.
And you were singing and dancing
when I was 6 years old. So I love it.
The future, you got a tour. This one, you got the summer.
After the tour, I think I'm gonna take some break. Perhaps in December go to Africa. I have to start working on the next album. I start already, so I need time to set it up. I don't know what I'm gonna do, but I let the inspiration come.
Wow. All right, it's Angelique Kidjo. It's WERS. Thank you very much for taking the time to talk to me.
It's my pleasure always. When you want to, I'm your guest.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
WERS Gyroscope. Cool. Now let's get some IDs.
You know, this falls from this. I didn't even realize that the microphone.
Well, that's why I had him here.
That's why I grabbed it. That's cool.
Excuse me, I did not do it proper. I do like this and the things goes. Okay.
Oh, it's so easy to.
That's fine. These yeah.
When I talk, I use my hands always.
Yes.
So.
Me too. That's cool. I just grabbed it.
You do? You do? Oh, cool. It's very rare from the white people to
for
do.
many years. So.
Oh, okay. I see. I see.
I want to do a couple IDs. This is for a friend of mine's show. A Haitian friend of mine who has a really cool radio program. It's Kalfu Simido. Kalfu Simido.
Kalfu Simido. Kalfu Simido. Okay.
On WZBC 90.3 FM.
WZBC. Oh gosh.
I know.
WZBC.
And the guy's name is
90.3 FM.
Exactly.
And his name is
Smith.
Oh, write down.
We will.
You got a pen? Yeah. Smith.
And then we'll get you to do one
Sniff.
for Gyroscope.
I'll call him a sniff.
Sniff.
Have you ever heard Hassan Hakmoun Zahar? Cool Moroccan stuff. I was just curious if you had heard really popular on my show. All right. Smith?
So where do you want me to put this?
Let's say, whenever I'm in Boston, I listen to Smith on
Okay.
Kalfu.
Hello Boston, my name is Angelique Kidjo. Whenever I'm in Boston, I listen to Smith on Kalfu Simido. And on Kalfu Simido? Shit. I listen to Smith on Kalfu Simido on WZBC 90.3 FM. Oh shit, man. This is sick.
Let's lose Kalfu. How about we just do, I'm listening to Smith on, and you don't have to say the name of his show.
Let me try.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Oh yes, we're always ready.
Hello Boston, my name is Angelique Kidjo. Whenever I'm in Boston, I listen to Smith on Kalfu Simido on WZBC 90.3 FM.
Awesome. Then we'll do a gyro.
You got it.
You did it perfect.
Smith will be very happy.
WZBC. WZBC, non mais c'est grave ce truc. And when I will be in California, it will be KW something. Oh gosh.
And then they have K's out there too. All right, I want to
East Coast is W. Yeah.
Yeah.
And West Coast is
K. Some K's on the East Coast, but not many. Almost all W's.
Like one or two.
Yeah, only like one or two. Exactly.
The one who are close to the West are K.
K's,
Okay. Oh, it's very easy to make it like that. It's so big. You cut into two. K here, W there. Cool. Then you know exactly where you are. W, I'm in the east part. K, I'm in the west.
All right. Two separate ones.
Gyroscope on 88.9 FM WERS Boston.
Yep. Gyroscope. You said it right. You had
Gyroscope.
Gyroscope.
Shit.
And then
Dave and the New Music
Hour
Hour.
on the Friday Fiesta.
This is
Sorry about my handwriting.
Penmanship is really good.
So we'll do the top one first. And you can say whatever you want before that.
Hi, this is Angelique. Ah, shit.
In your own one.
Hi, this is Angelique Kidjo on Gyroscope on 88.9 FM, WERS Boston. Dave and the New Music Hour on the Friday Fiesta with Angelique Kidjo.
Perfect. Could you do a, hey, you're listening to the new music app?
Shit. Again. You never get enough of it. Hey, you're listening to Dave and the New Music Hour on the Friday Fiesta with Angelique Kidjo.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
You're all done.
WZBC. That one killed me. WZBC. Gosh. How can you say that, man?
Would you sign the picture?
Wow.
If I want to.
If I want to, she says. Please.
For Dave?
Please.